Alright, good evening class. So tonight we will be discussing all about the cost accounting cycle. Okay, so this is gonna be the third lesson that we have in our management accounting subject. So previously we discussed all about cost behavior, yung cost function, and ways of segregating semi-variable cost or yung tinatawag nating mixed cost. This time naman, we will still talk about cost but in a different aspect now. Okay, so yung cost or costing concepts involved in the manufacturing companies. Okay, in your basic accounting guys, so we only discussed yung tinatawag nating trading type of business, okay? Aside dun sa service type of business. So, pag sinabi natin trading or yung merchandising business, if you can still recall, na-mention natin doon, one inventory, di ba? Yung tinatawag nating merchandise inventory. This time guys, in a manufacturing company, we will be exploring, okay, kung ano-ano pa aside sa inventory, okay? Kasi hindi lang isa ang inventaryo, okay, or inventory ng isang manufacturing. So, aalamin natin kung ano-ano yung mga yon when we talk about manufacturing business. Okay, and aside from that guys, we will try to understand yung tinatawag nating manufacturing costs. Ano-ano nga ba yung mga costs na yon? And how these costs flow from the factory, okay, from production into the income statement. Okay, income statement natin, this is, kung matatandaan nyo, yung it measures, di ba, yung performance, di ba, kung gaano ba kumikita ang isang business. Alright, now, let's define first what is cost accounting. So sabi dyan guys, cost accounting is the process of recording, classifying, allocating, summarizing, and analyzing costs incurred to produce goods or deliver services. So medyo hawig lang siya, di ba, sa definition natin ng accounting as a whole. Kasi andyan din naman yung process involved, like yung recording, di ba? Classifying, summarizing, and analyzing. However, the difference guys is in cost accounting guys, we are only talking about costs, okay? Itong cost na nai-incur ng isang business, okay, in producing goods or in the delivery of a particular services, okay? Nung dinefine natin yung accounting sa basic accounting nyo, di ba ang na-mention natin is itong processes na to, however, it focuses on all the entire economic events or aspects ng business. Okay, so cost accounting is only focusing on one thing, which is the cost. Okay, so yun lang. Alright, and it actually links financial accounting and management accounting, sabi dyan, di ba? So from financial accounting, how? Kasi 'di ba, meron tayong mga inventories, 'di ba? And yung pag-a-account natin ng mga inventories na 'to sa balance sheet, sa ating balance sheet. Nasa financial aspect 'yon, 'di ba? Sa financial accounting aspect. Pagdating naman sa accounting natin, importante din naman yung information na ma-generate natin sa cost accounting. Because again, in management accounting, our purpose is to take actions, okay? In case na meron tayong data, then we can actually do something as a managers, okay, on how to improve yung performance ng isang business by let's say controlling costs, di ba? And eventually maximizing profits. Okay, yun naman yung pinaka-goal natin, di ba? As much as possible, i-minimize, okay, or i-control natin yung costs. Huwag siya masyadong lumaki, okay, than the normal expected. Kasi the moment na hindi natin siya nakokontrol guys, syempre, kakainin yan, di ba? Yung sa halip na sana, kikitain na ng isang business, okay? So, yung kahit kung kakarumpot man lang yung income na nag-generate natin, okay? Let's say, for instance, sa isang product, usually, kapag ka nag exceed tayo sa pagpaproduce, di ba? Yung cost is exceeding beyond the budgeted. let's say for instance, meron tayong tinalagang budget, okay, na ito lang dapat natin gastusin sa pagpaproduce nitong product na to. So, the moment na mag-exceed yan, therefore, it will actually eat up, di ba? Yung sana profit na natin. So, that's why it's very important for us to know what cost is all about, okay? Para as managers, we can do something, okay, on how to uh, manage it, okay, and control it, okay, as much as possible. Now, we have four key purposes na sinasabi dyan, guys. So, first is we have to determine yung tinatawag natin na product cost, okay? And if you can still remember, class, so we have these two types of cost, okay? Yung period cost and yung product cost. So, ano yung difference nitong dalawa? So, sa period cost kasi, di ba, ito yung something that we categorize as an expense outright, okay? Kapag ka na-incur na natin siya, so parang consider na siya as gastos. And therefore, it is an expense na, di ba, sa basic accounting. While product cost naman, guys, ito yung, let's say, mga costs na usually kinakapitalize muna natin as assets. Okay? Kasi, um, let's say for instance, part siya ng inventory, okay? Yung ginamit natin sa pag-produce ng isang product. And yung product na yun, hindi pa natin na ipagbibili. So, nasa possession pa ng company, di ba? O ng business. Let's say for instance, nasa warehouse pa. So, usually, yung mga cost associated sa paggawa ng product na yun is, i-record muna natin siya as assets. And once na these particular products were sold or are sold, okay, to our customers, naalis na siya sa warehouse, na-deliver na siya sa mga customers natin, retailers, wholesalers. Then that's the time, okay, na i-treat na natin siya from product cost into a period cost. Okay, nagiging expense na siya. Okay? Nagiging part na siya ng expense natin kasi naibenta na natin. Okay? Yung yung product na yun. Okay? So, ganun yung distinction nitong dalawa. Now, another purpose, guys, why we need to understand what cost accounting is all about is to support pricing decisions. Syempre, if you have the basis na ng cost, then you can actually make decisions na, di ba? Tataas mo ba yung price um, to cope up with competitions or ikikip mo ba siya as it is kasi yung kabilang competition mo ng same industry is offering this product, di ba? Or this product, yung product nila at this given price, pwede ba nating tapatan na i-match yung price nila para at least maging competitive naman yung produkto natin, di ba? Or kaya ba nating mas babaan pa kesa dun sa ina-offer ng kabila na presyo para at least mapunta yung market sa atin, di ba? Sa atin bumili kasi mas mura tayo. Itong mga bagay na to, guys, this is one of the factors, okay, na ginagawa ng isang managers, okay? But before making decisions in terms of prices, of course, dapat meron tayong idea, okay, about costs, okay, and how to manage and control it. So, that's the reason why, okay, we have this second purpose. Now, of course, yung third naman, na-mention ko na, it's all about control. So, dapat ma-establish natin. Okay? Let's say, for instance, nag-budget tayo na ito lang yung dapat na cost na allocated natin sa paggawa nitong product na to. And ang nangyari is, yung actual na cost na na-incur natin is mas mataas. So, syempre, meron na siyang tinatawag na unfavorable, di ba? Kasi nag-exceed tayo sa budget. And what we can do as a manager is to know kung ano nga ba yung mga naka-apekto, bakit nag-exceed tayo sa budgeted cost natin, di ba, sa paggawa ng product. Meron bang machine defects, kung bakit nadagdagan yung machine operating hours natin and machine operating costs. So, may mga ganun, di ba? May mga ganong things na dapat nating investigahan. Okay? Para at least makontrol natin. Okay? Yung na-incur natin na cost. Okay? And to avoid that in the future. And lastly, yung tinatawag nating guide, planning, and decisions. Of course, if you have already the data, then you can actually do some forecasts na ito yung ginastos natin, meron na tayong basis kapag ka nag-produce ba tayo, let's say, for the same amount of goods, okay, next year. So at least may basis na tayo ng mga costs, di ba, na ma-incur natin. And again, let's say for instance, increase natin ng 5,000 additional more products. So at least we can do some forecasting, di ba? um, Applying yung natutunan natin sa behavior ng cost kapag fixed na siya or variable, then we can go ahead and predict magkano yung magagastos natin. Let's say for instance, dagdagan natin ng additional 5,000 products ang ipoproduce natin in the next accounting period. Now, punta naman tayo guys dito sa types of manufacturing costs. So, malamang narinig nyo na to in the past. Okay, so yung direct materials, direct labor, and factory overhead. So, direct materials or yung mga direct costs, di ba, na sinasabi natin na these are the costs that can easily be traced dun sa finished product, okay, or dun sa product natin. Example given dyan is, let's say, yung steel na ginamit, di ba, sa car frame, yung tela, di ba, fabric na ginamit sa paggawa ng mga shirt. Sa leather shoes, example natin, di ba, yung leather. So, that's actually the direct materials okay, na ginagamit okay, sa paggawa ng product. And it can be easily traced. Pag sinabi naman natin guys, direct labor, ito yung wages ng workers, di ba? Na physically involved dun sa pagko-convert ng raw products, raw materials into the finished goods. And whose time is directly traceable sa to the specific units. Okay, any labor na pwede nating directly matrace. Okay, usually ang kalimitan dyan is yung mga factory worker salaries, di ba? Kasi sila yung uh, directly na gumagawa ng products, di ba? Sa operations sa factory work. So, gano'n. Now, factory overhead naman guys, ito naman yung all other types of manufacturing cost, okay, na hindi kasama dito sa direct materials and direct labor. Usually, ito yung mga indirect materials, indirect labor, and other costs, okay, na meron tayo sa factory. Let's say, for instance, yung depreciation, yung maintenance, yung pasahod ng mga uh, supervisors, di ba, ng mga, let's say, hindi diretsong gumagawa nung product. Okay, pero yung part sila ng operations kasi mga supervisory sila, di ba? Sila yung nagmamanage, okay, ng operations on a day-to-day basis. And our note dyan is it cannot be directly traceable to a unit. Okay? So, all of these three guys, kapag kinombine mo to, yung direct labor, direct materials, direct labor, plus factory overhead, these make up your total manufacturing cost. Okay? So, that's gonna be the formula. Tatandaan niyo yan. Now, aside from the total manufacturing cost, let's distinguish naman guys yung prime cost, okay, versus yung conversion costs. Okay, still, we have yung tatlong types ng costs natin, okay, manufacturing costs. Kapag kinumbine mo to, sabi dyan, then we can actually form yung tinatawag nating prime cost or conversion costs. Now, pag sinabi natin guys na prime cost, this is actually yung primarily, di ba? Yun yung term, prime cost kasi primarily associated siya with producing a unit of product. So prime cost is composed of your direct materials plus your direct labor. Okay? While your conversion cost naman, this is actually the cost, okay, in converting your raw materials into a finished product. Okay, so paano ba kino-convert yung raw materials? Siyempre, it involves yung process, okay? We have yung direct labor and all your factory overhead. Alright, so kapag kinambine mo yung dalawang yan, so that will be your conversion cost. So ano ang main parang synonyms nitong dalawang cost na to? Si direct labor, okay? Kasi pareho siyang present, okay? In either of these two types of cost, okay? So yun lang siya. Next Now, punta naman tayo guys dun sa mga inventories meron ng isang manufacturing company. Okay, so we have three. So, unlike our merchandising type of business sa basic accounting na merong isa, so this time guys sa manufacturing company meron tayong tatlo. So, yung raw materials, so of course from the definition, di ba, yan yung mga raw na materials, di ba, from the word itself, hindi pa siya finished product. Okay? Pero once na naproseso na yan, uh, it can be converted yung tinatawag natin na work in process. Okay? In progress. So, ibig sabihin, hindi pa siya buo, pero in process pa lang siya. Okay? And of course, once na na-undergo na niya yung complete process, then we can have yung pangatlong types of inventory natin, which is yung finished product. Okay? Yung finished goods naman. Okay? So, andyan yung definition niya. So, pagka work in process, partially completed pa lang siya. Okay? And finished goods, of course, ito na yung complete product na. Okay? Yung pinaka-output. Now, ano naman yung flow of cost? So, again, from raw materials, di ba? Sabi dyan, from raw materials, pupunta siya sa work in process. Okay? Di ba? Mag-undergo siya ng process. And then later on, it will be considered or treated as finished goods. Okay? As materials are used, labor is applied, and overhead is incurred. Out of the finished goods, guys, it will form part of your cost of goods sold, okay, when units are sold. So, in other words, guys, di ba, from the definition natin ng product cost kanina, so, itong process na yan, lahat yan, guys, yung magiging product cost, okay? Usually, kinoconsider mo na yan as assets kasi inventory yan eh. Inventory, di ba? From merchandise inventory. So, ganun din yan. Ganun din yung treatment niya. But of course, once na nabenta na yung product, then that's the time that we can consider it as your cost of goods sold. And that's gonna be expense. Okay? That will form part of your expense. And you know naman, kapag ka-expense na siya, of course, makikita mo na yan sa income statement. Okay? In order for you to determine kung ano ba yung magiging income ko. Okay? Net income. Now, we have here, guys, yung formula on how we compute yung cost of goods sold. So, sa cost of goods sold, guys, ng basic accounting for merchandising, napakasimple lang. So, we have yung beginning inventory natin, di ba? Plus yung purchases mo. You will have there all your cost of goods available for sale. And then, i-minus mo lang yung ending inventory mo, then you will have your cost of goods sold. But this time guys, since meron tayong tatlong types of inventory, so medyo mahaba-haba yung steps, okay, na dapat yung tandaan on how to compute yung cost of goods sold. So, isa-isahin natin yan, okay? So, yung logic, andito yung logic niya, compute direct materials used. So, sabi dyan, sa direct materials used na yan, so, we have yung beginning, di ba? Let's say, for instance, kaka-start pala ng year, add mo yung lahat ng binili mong raw materials, additional net purchases for raw materials, you will have all direct materials available for use. Then, i-minus mo yung direct materials ending mo. So, definitely, mag-arrive ka dun sa mga direct materials used mo. And sabi nga natin, kapag kinumbine natin yung direct materials used sa direct labor and sa factory overhead, then we can actually have yung tinatawag natin na total manufacturing cost. Okay? Just like in the previous slide. Now, yung total manufacturing cost na yan, guys, di ba from raw materials, sabi natin, didiretso siya sa work in process. So, i-add mo yung work in process mo na beginning. So, you will have yung total cost put into process. Now, kapag minus mo naman yung work in process end, then you will have yung cost of goods manufactured na tinatawag. Okay, and of course, after sa work in process, i-add mo dyan guys yung beginning finished goods mo. You will have yung total goods available for sale, and then kapag dineduct mo naman yung finished goods sa ending inventory, then you will have yung pinaka-final na cost of goods sold. Yung cost of goods sold na yan guys, yan yung binabawas natin sa sales, di ba? Para mag-arrive tayo sa gross profit. Okay, and from gross profit, i-minus mo lahat ng other period costs mo, like yung general and administrative costs, and yung selling costs. in order for you to arrive dun sa tinatawag natin na net income. So, ganun siya kinocompute. Now, it's important guys na alam nyo yung formula nito guys. Okay, and you can include this dun sa tinatawag nating index cards, okay, for your departmentalized exam. Kasi kasama to guys, okay, on how to compute cost of goods sold, cost of goods manufactured, or yung total manufacturing cost, okay, included siya sa exam. Now that we understand guys on how the the product cost flows, 'di ba, from inventory into the income statement, 'di ba, sa production into your income statement. This time naman guys, alamin natin kung ano na yung iba't ibang systems of cost accumulation. So actually we have three eh. So we have yung actual, we have yung normal, and yung tinatawag nating standard cost. Okay, standard cost is a separate topic actually in management accounting, pero mag-overview lang tayo guys. Okay, hindi natin siya masyadong bibigyan ng full details. Alright, just an idea, okay, on how the standard cost works. So, pag sinabi natin muna guys is sa actual cost system, so of course, ang basis ng computation natin diyan or ng accumulation of cost is lahat actual. Okay? Yung direct material mo, direct labor, and including factory overhead, actual. So lahat yan, tatlo, puro actual. Kaya siya actual cost system. Alright? And sabi dyan, all three cost elements are recorded at their actual historical amounts. So sabi dito, it's most accurate but may catch, okay? So, ang overhead is only known after period end. Siyempre, let's say for instance, sa kaligitnaan ka pa lang ng taon, so hindi mo madidetermine yung actual overhead mo kasi hindi pa tapos yung entire accounting cycle. So, kailangan matapos muna yung accounting period for you to be able to determine yung factory overhead actual. Eh bakit itong direct material, direct labor na determine na natin, 'di ba? Kahit na hindi pa period end. Remember guys, 'di ba, yung direct material and direct labor, usually it's like a variable cost. So if you already have let's say yung number of um, goods na ipoproduce mo, okay, or yung tinatawag mo activity level, and if you have yung rate, di ba, let's say yung cost per unit ng isang product, so from there, since variable cost siya, ma-determine mo na guys, di ba, kung ano yung actual direct materials and direct labor mo, okay, based dun sa level of activity mo, kasi it's a variable costs. Okay, so it increases depende sa number or sa level ng activity meron ng isang company. While ito naman guys, factory overhead, so usually this one is like considered as mixed, di ba? Kasi meron dyan yung depreciation, which is a fixed, and meron ding other types of costs na hindi naman fixed. Okay, kaya mako-consider natin ito as a mixed type of cost. And usually, sabi natin, di ba, so since fluctuating ang tawag dito or yung range, meron tayong tinatawag na mga relevant range in the actual scenario. So there's a tendency guys na magfa-fluctuate yan, okay, or hindi natin mape-predict yung actual cost. Okay, let's say kahit na meron na tayong predetermined na number of level of activity or kung ilang units man yung mapoproduce natin, di ba? But still, we cannot determine yung actual type of cost kasi nga hindi pa tapos yung period end. Okay? And it's difficult for us to determine kung ano yung magiging actual. Not unless tapos na yung year end, let's say for instance yung period, and of course we have already the data, diba, for the actual overhead. So ganun siya. Now, kapag sinabi naman natin class na normal cost, ang difference lang nila is the direct material and direct labor, they are still considered as actual, However, yung factory overhead mo is applied. Okay, so dito sa actual cost system, actual lahat. Pero yung sa normal cost system guys, we have yung applied. Now, ano nga ba yung difference or definition ng applied? So, pagka sinabi natin guys na applied, yung factory overhead is being applied kasi using a predetermined overhead rate. Okay, so usually meron na tayong basis kung magkano yung rate na i-apply natin dun sa kung ilan mang activity level meron tayo para at least ma-determine natin yung tinatawag nating applied factory overhead. Okay, which is the basis for normal cost system. Now, saan ba kinukuha yung predetermined overhead rate na yan? Usually, guys, nasa budgeted yan. Okay? Let's say, previous year, meron na tayong ganitong data na ito yung na-incur natin na factory overhead. And then, this is the number of goods na produce natin. So, usually, di-divide mo lang yan from the number of budgeted factory overhead versus dun sa number of activity level meron tayo, okay, at that time. So that's gonna be the budgeted, and then you will determine guys kung magkano yung predetermined overhead rate natin, and yun yung i-multiply natin dun sa actual number of units na na-produce natin para ma-compute natin yung applied factory overhead. So, we will try to have a demonstration para at least mas ma-appreciate nyo guys, okay, kung how, paano nag-work itong normal cost system. So, sabi pa dyan, let's unit cost be computed throughout the period. So, even though hindi pa tapos, guys, yung accounting period natin, since meron naman tayong applied factory overhead, we can determine kung ano na yung product cost natin, and we can somehow make decisions na, okay? Even kahit na hindi pa natatapos yung taon. Okay? Even if without yung knowledge natin ng actual factory overhead, then we can already compute guys, 'di ba? Kung magkano yung product cost natin, and from there we can decide, okay, kung i-adjust ba natin yung price nitong goods na to, or we will keep it at its current price. So ganun siya guys. So usually factory overhead applied is best used kasi nga 'di ba, not all times naman stable guys yung factory overhead natin throughout production. So usually nagfa-fluctuate 'yan, and ang magiging impact nun guys is magpabago-bago din yung pag-allocate natin ng presyo, 'di ba? Let's say for instance kapag ito yung actual production cost natin, and syempre kailangan nating i-adjust um, yung presyo nun para ma-meet up natin yung desired profit target natin. So yun lang yung disadvantage niya, kasi what if nag-fluctuate pataas yung actual, di ba? E di tataas mo rin yung presyo mo. Okay, so hindi tayo magiging consistent sa pricing. However, kapag ginamitan natin siya ng applied, possible na maging consistent all throughout the year, di ba? Yung presyo natin, magiging stable yung pricing natin, and then we can decide na magstick tayo sa isang price lang, okay? Selling price for the entire year. Kasi, regardless kung mag-fluctuate man yung cost, at least na-spread out na siya throughout the year, okay? Using this applied factory overhead. So, yun yung actually kagandahan kapag meron ka ng applied versus dun sa actual. Okay? Um, Now, pag sinabi naman natin guys na standard cost system guys, ay ito usually yung pinaka-perfect, okay, na standard, kumbaga, in producing, in dun sa process in producing the goods. So, lahat yan guys, may standard tayong sinusunod, and usually yan yung parang pinaka-perfect operation. So walang wastage, walang machinery breakdown, lahat ng processes involved is perfect. Okay, wala tayong ina-anticipate na let's say for instance masisira yung mga equipment, parang ganun. Okay, lahat ng materials natin good, walang spoilage, di ba? Good quality lahat. So, ibig sabihin, standard cost system guys, it's actually applying yung pinaka-standard, okay? Na kung ano man yung meron tayo sa pagpaproduce ng goods. And usually, ginagamit to guys, let's say, for quality purposes din, okay? In producing the goods. So, meron tayong standard na sinusunod, standard na amount ng direct materials, standard amount ng direct labor, and standard factory overhead, okay, sa paggawa ng produkto. Now, the moment guys na let's say for instance, mag-exceed yan, okay, sa standard, usually, nagiging unfavorable yan and that's the time na um, we can actually do some control, okay, kapag let's say hindi nasusunod yung tinatawag nating standard. Let's say, ito yung standard mo, ang paggawa mo ng product is, let's say, 100 pesos lang. Okay, yan lang yung tinakda mong standard. All in na yan, yung direct materials, direct labor, and factory overhead. Pero, once na dumating yung actual, let's say, for instance, nag-exceed ka ng 105 pesos. Di ba? Yung lahat, overall na nagastos mo sa paggawa ng isang unit. So, meron tayong exceeded amount na 5 pesos. Diba? Yung 5 pesos na yan is hindi na maganda kasi hindi na sunod yung ating standard. And yan yung gagawan ng mga managers ng investigation, di ba? O bakit hindi tayo nakasunod sa standard? And the manager can actually take necessary actions, okay, on how to prevent that from happening again, okay, in the future. So, that's actually the main goal for having or for incorporating guys yung tinatawag natin na standard cost system. Okay, so here guys, sa topic natin sa management accounting, hindi ko na siya bibigyan ng detail, okay? Kasi separate topic to. It's a separate topic and medyo broad din siya, okay? Just like nung sinabi ko, yung about relevant costing, medyo actually mga broad topics din yun, okay? So for ano na yun, for accountancy major na yun, okay? Na mga topics. But for now, at least ang importante lang is you have an idea, okay, on what standard cost system is. So, okay, sabi dyan, all three cost elements are recorded at predetermined should cost, okay? So, yun yung pinaka-standard na susundin. Set in advance rather than actual cost. Okay, it simplifies costing and highlights efficiency at a glance. Differences from actual costs are recorded as variances. Yung mga variances na yan guys, it's either favorable or unfavorable. So kapag ka hindi nasunod, let's say nag-exceed tayo sa standard, usually ang impact niyan is unfavorable. Okay? Kasi nag-exceed yung actual. Hindi nasunod. Pero let's say for instance, mas mababa yung actual kaysa sa sinet nating standard. Eh maganda yun. Kasi ibig sabihin, ito yung standard natin. So nakapag produce tayo ng mas mababa, 'di ba, na cost kaysa dun sa standard natin. So medyo may favorable impact 'yon sa operations. Right? And widely used for budgeting and performance evaluation. Okay, so sabi rito guys, hindi natin nabasa. So normal cost system is most widely used system in practice. Syempre nga naman kasi you don't have to wait for the period and for you to take actions, okay? To make decisions. So at any given point in time, kahit na hindi pa siya period and so you can actually apply normal cost system. Dito kasi guys, you can only apply this once you have the actual data. Okay, actual data ng factory overhead. And usually, after year-end na yan. So, what if you need to make decisions na, okay, even na hindi pa tapos yung taon, so, hindi natin to usually ma-accomplish kasi hindi pa enough yung data na meron tayo kasi wala pa yung actual factory overhead. So, this is actually the most commonly or most widely used ika. And of course, it creates over or under applied overhead to reconcile. Now, punta naman tayo dun sa actual and applied overhead, di ba? Sabi dyan, because actual overhead is only known at period end, most companies apply overhead to production as it happens using an estimated rate. Yung estimated rate na to, ito yung tinatawag natin na predetermined na overhead rate. Okay, so actual overhead, the real factory overhead costs actually incurred during the period. Indirect materials, indirect labor, depreciation, etc. Known only after costs are recorded typically at month or period end. Okay? While applied overhead naman guys, it's the overhead assigned to production using a predetermined overhead rate or yung POHR, okay, based on actual activity level. So, yung kapag meron na tayong predetermined overhead rate, i-multiply mo yan guys sa activity level, then you will have yung applied overhead. Take note guys, actual activity level, okay? Yung predetermined rate, multiply by actual. Kasi usually, ang nagiging confusion yan kapag applied overhead, since predetermined to, baka gawin is predetermined din yung activity level. Hindi ganun yun guys. Okay, dapat always at actual activity level. Okay, yung overhead rate lang yung predetermined sa computation. So it's known immediately, let's unit cost be computed throughout the period. Alright, example natin guys. Okay, this is the formula. Predetermined overhead rate, you have yung estimated total factory overhead um, divided by yung estimated total activity level. So, sa pag-compute ng predetermined, estimated or budgeted total factory overhead, and then estimated or budgeted total activity level. Okay, either machine hours man yan, or direct labor hours, etc. Okay, depende sa activity level meron ang isang company. Now, once na na-determine mo na guys yung predetermined overhead rate, then yun lang yun yung gagamitin mo, i-multiply mo siya sa actual activity, okay? Huwag magko-confused sa pag-determine ng overhead rate, pareho yan estimated, okay? Or budgeted. Pero kapag pinag-usapan na natin is applied overhead, yung rate na mismo na na-compute natin from here, sa actual mo siya i-multiply, okay? Hindi sa budgeted, okay? In order for you to get yung applied overhead. Now, paano ba madidetermine guys kung under or over applied ba siya? So, meron dyan, kapag ang actual is greater than the applied, so not enough was assigned to production. So, ibig sabihin, mas mataas yung actual mo kesa sa in-apply mo kasi ang applied is predetermined, di ba? So, kulang yung overhead na inassign mo sa production. So, meron tayong treatment, okay, kung paano yan gagawin. We will have an example. Kapag sinabi naman natin guys, over applied overhead, ito naman yung actual overhead which is less than the applied overhead. Okay, so ibig sabihin yan, mas marami naman guys yung cost na in-apply natin, okay, sa production, okay, versus the actual. Alright, before we actually have an exercise guys, so let's have yung key takeaways natin, okay? Dito sa topic natin. So we have yung the cost accounting cycle in short. So cost accounting dyan captures, classifies, and reports the costs of manufacturing products. Every unit's cost is built from direct materials, direct labor, and factory overhead. Now, we also discussed about the prime cost versus yung conversion cost, how the cost flows from raw materials to work in process up to the finished goods, and how cost of goods sold statement traces that flow into an income statement, and of course, yung job order costing and process costing, okay? Which is the two core ways to accumulate those costs. Okay, job order and process costing, yun yung mga accumulation of cost like actual, normal, and standard costing. Okay, na na-mention natin sa topics natin. Okay, and this is actually the end for the theoretical side. We're gonna have a different session, guys, okay, for the exercises. Okay, thank you so much.